Welcome to our very last day of our design week. I know it happened so fast, right? Unfortunately, this is our last day and this is our last talk, but this is our amazing Ariel Bandeira, and she's going to talk about navigating the future of design, a tour of Figma's latest features, and I'm pretty excited about it because Figma is one of my nemesis. So I'm really excited to see it and learn some things. And Ariel, you have the floor.
All right. Thank you, Amanda. Hello, everyone, and thank you for being here. And yeah, let's get started. So, for those who don't know me, I'm Ariel. I'm a product designer here at Avenue Code, and I have more than 6 years of experience in user interface design and over the 9 years of experience in technology field. And yeah, I'm hashtag Figma lover. I'm a UI lover, and I'm a design input amor, as we Brazilians say. And I'm also Bailey's pet mom, and she's my baby, and I love her. Just for you guys to know me a little bit more. And so let's get started. Let's just get through some details. I'm going to do a recap that I'm going to talk a little bit of what is Figma for those that doesn't have too much familiarity with, and for those that already know, it's just going to remind a few stuff. I bring three features here that I'm going to talk about, and also some tips and tricks and what is next after everything. So let's go to the recap. So for those who don't know, what is Figma? So Figma, it's a cloud-based design tool that help us designers and other digital professionals, such as developers, to collaborate and create digital products. So basically, it's the software that we use, and like different from the others, like for example, Photoshop or other kind of softwares that you need like to install. And um, today we do have Adobe Cloud, but uh, a few years back you just needed to save in your computer stuff, and it was really bad. Figma, you can do all online. It's going to save by itself, so you don't need to worry about saving button like Command S, and not gonna lose a lot of projects because of that, like I did in the past. So feedbacks in my head when I talk about it. But anyways, it's one of the best tools that we have today. And over this talk, I'm going to talk a little bit more of how, like, during these years, Figma got like upgraded and help us to enhance our productivity and our work in the product digital products field. So, uh, okay, there you go. So the Figma Lover Starter Pack. Just a little joke here. For you to be a part of the team, you need to download the desktop version. You also can use in your navigator, but I suggest you to download on the desktop because it's a little bit better, and it's not gonna freeze your computer sometimes. So it's a good idea. You can watch some intro videos on YouTube to learn how to move through the platform. I will keep some links at the end of this presentation so you guys can go there. You will need to start talking about other softwares. Yes, because this is how it is, and you're going to feel bad when you think about Figma's being bought by Adobe. So yeah, this is also, I don't like to talk much about it, but yeah, it's kind of sad. Anyways, join this 10 out of 10 club and come with me. So just for those who don't know, so Figma has this conference that calls config, and which I think it's really simple but super genius, the name that they put in there. Um, and they have like an annual kind of this conference, and this year, the 2023, they released some new features and some cool lineups of speakers, like huge designers and developers and scientists that it's all from all around the world, from different kind of companies, like big and small companies. And it's really nice. You guys can check it out on YouTube, because some of them are like 2 hours of videos, but you guys can just watch those that you think is more interesting. But it's really nice because they gave us not just about the tools from the software, but also some kind of ideas of the market, of the digital market. And it's really nice for designers and developers to have an overview of what is going on around the world. So just to check it out, the conference, it's in person, but it also is streamed for those that can be there. So as I told you before, you can check this on YouTube. So let's go to the what matters. The second stop is going to be the feature number one, which is the auto layout. For those that don't know or don't remember of using it, the auto layout allows us designers to adapt proportionally as content changes, and enables the creation of flexible design elements that adjust well on various devices, including buttons and text inputs field. So what does that mean? That means when we are, as you can see on the video, you can like just organize everything. And I don't know if it's going to, let me just click. No, spoiler. There you go. As you can see on the video, if plays, please play. If you have, like, for example, buttons over there, you can have like several of them, and you can just organize them together without thinking of, oh, what is the proportion of this, or how I'm going to organize, and how I'm going to like set everything together, like, simpler. We used to have a kind of this feature on Adobe XD. It was really bad, but we did have. And when they introduced Figma, it got a little bit better, because you can set the minimum and the maximum width of the frame, and then it can adapt to the content according to the specific configuration that it's called wrap. So basically is that. The feature number two is the variables. This is where your minds go crazy, because we started to talk about the logics, the developing logics, basic logic, where you have like, if you have this component, you will do this thing, and else you will do this other thing. So it's a little bit crazy, because you need to have a little bit of basis of what is this developing basic kind of logic of else's and ifs and everything else. So yeah, it's a little bit boring, but at the same time, it's really nice, because it will give us much more possibilities and paths to follow to create more high fidelity prototypes. For example, software such as ProtoPie, it has like a really strong structure that it's full of logics, developing logics and programming. but it works and it's really like high fidelity because of that. And Figma started to use that, and it's really good because I don't know if you guys remember, but when we prototype stuff like a few months ago on Figma, it was like full of lines and it looks like everything was together. And it was like if Spider-Man came and put all the his abilities there and went crazy. And with that, it will help us to have more control and not too messy kind of visuals when we prototyping. So it will serve right there. They will serve to contain of values encompassing elements such as the fill shades and visibility types that can be applied across all the projects within an organization. So the purpose is to enhance consistency and similar to design tokens. So here we have, just so you guys can see it, we have like 4 types that it's color. Just a second. It's color, variable, and the 2 other ones that you naming, and numbers that you can work with. So it's really good because this is the basics of the token, of starting to work with tokens right straight on the Figma, and will help us to also have a more flexible documentation on design systems. The feature number 3 then is the dev mode, that for all the developers will have be going crazy, because, and also for us designers that will not put too much effort on the anatomy of the components when we are documenting for a design system. But basically the dev mode, it turns as a advanced handoff solution, because they will not just be available to inspect colors or scale elements, but also be able to change measurement values and enhance code shippers benefits from the design tokens variables and defining them in the code. And this is really good because we're going to make their life easier when we have all the visual parts, and they will not need to have, when I say into the documentation part of the design system, it will not need too much pages about it, because they can see right straight on the Figma. So basically is that. Some tips and tricks. This is our 5th stop. So for those who don't know, Figma has a community inside of the software that you guys can access. And they have a bunch of teams and, like a lot of content about anything that you can imagine. Here, I just took a screenshot of one of them, that like inspiration, team sings, design systems, visual assets, development, icons, accessibility, web, mobile, wireframe. Like you can search for anything in there, and I search, like I have 100% sure that someone in this planet is going to show you some idea. And when I said about this, it's because this is something that I talk to everybody that comes to talk to me about design system and about user interface, is a lot of stuff that we have today, 2023, it's already made up. Like we already have a bunch of icons, we already have typography and how to documentate that, and specific ways to organize and everything. So we don't need to like invent, like go to the and think like, oh my God, I need to like try to keep up like a new thing from the beginning. No, people already made that, and people already like have this for free, and they can show you. So it's really important to have this this tool inside of Figma, because you're not going to waste your time building stuff that is it already exists. So for you guys to have an example, it's like when we are building, I don't know, a screen that has native components from the iOS. So for example, the calendar, or that it's like a scroll and everything, like you're not gonna do it from the beginning, only if you want to exercise and like do, but you can just search in the community, or even on Google, and it will have like a whole file that someone already did that, and you can copy from there and use in your prototype or your visuals asset. So it's something that we need to keep in mind, because it already exists. So let's use this as a in our favor. And one of the things that is really nice, it's this Figma for Edu, that they have like this workshop that it's going to teach you how to use the components and libraries. And it's really nice to have this workshop, because it's something that you guys can learn a little bit more if you're not too friendly with Figma. And it's a material from Figma, made by Figma. And you definitely can do some exercise. You can see how they use the variables and how they use the instance. And it's really nice for you to basically study from that, instead of reading some theoretical part that is just theoretical. If you're not in the university and you're not writing down this kind of stuff, it's better for you to practice. So it's a good idea. And getting to the end is getting super fast, but this is our sixth and last stop. It's what is next. So the innovations that they present on Figma was really significant, because it was an advance of how we are leading to the interface of design and the platform and this kind of stuff. So we have the introduction of the improvements in prototype tools, automation, and focus on development. Like from this three features that I showed you, it has much more. So I'm going to send you the link in the next slide for you to guys can see and search. There is much more. I just put the most like nice that it brings us, but there is much more. And Figma has made available to wider range of alternatives for design professionals and developers, aiming to simplify and streamline the creation of digital products. And with that said, we have today a lot of plugins that it works as tools for the Figma that help us to automate some kind of tasks that could be automated. So, for example, I need to do a documentation about all the variables of the typography. Today, if you go to the community, you can search for a plugin to generate or organize all the typography family that you have. So it's really nice for you to have that in seconds, while in 1 year ago, I needed to do that by hand. And one of the things that it's really nice, especially today, having artificial intelligence more accessible, it's because we do have a lot of plugins that has integrated with artificial intelligence. So we have plugins that it's connected with ChatGPT, and you can, do some extension with copy, for example, and you don't want to put the Lorem Ipsum anymore. You want to put like a real text, even that it's not approved from the writer designers. You just for there, just to have the prototype done, you can access this plugin, and this plugin will generate a really nice copy about the subject that you want for that specific kind of component. So this like bring us so much time to be concerned to other kind of stuff, and to even be free to like explore some other stuff, such as like designing different kind of stuff, improving the motion design, the sound design in your design system, or even like looking for how to improve the documentation, and keep this kind of little stuff that 1 year ago make us going crazy, like in 2 3 weeks doing it. It goes in seconds today. So as I told you guys in another talks that I did earlier, but like the AI, it's not to substitute our work, but it's to improve our work. So it's going to enhance our final results, and will help us to see through stuff that just the machine could help us see. So basically, it's that we will have more time to discuss after this. But this is the link, some links, about the config and what it's new, and about that exercise that you guys can do it to learn a little bit more about the variables and the instance and components. And the YouTube of Figma always have some really nice videos that you guys can watch and learn a little bit more. Some of them are really extensive, but like it's from the conference. But some of them are really fast and with really nice professionals that are in the field for like 15 years that knows a lot about it, and you guys can check it out. Um, and yeah, this is basically it's it. Thank you so much for watching. And if you guys have any kind of doubts or anything, please, this is the time for we talk a little bit more. We have 5 6 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, Ariel. Guys, please don't forget to check in and leave feedback. Do you guys have any questions? Turns out, actually, Figma is not my nemesis. Turns out I'm actually a Figma lover. See, I learn something new every day. I checked all those boxes when it comes to Figma lover pack. Because I was like,
Great.
oh, turns out I'm
It's a
actually a
team.
Figma lover. So, you guys have any questions or any comments you want to make?
Yes, please, guys.
I have a question here. Ariel, first, congrats for the presentation. You were amazing. I loved it. And I would like to know if there is a specific functionality that you await that Figma develops in the future, something that does not exist today, and you are looking forward for it. You have something in
Yeah.
your mind?
I actually do. And I'm really excited because I have a feeling if not next year, I think in the other year it will happen. But it's something related to the design tokens. Because today we need to set the naming. So when we are in the design system and we talking with the developer of how we're going to build this documentation together, we have from the developer part, we have like if they are using like like JavaScript or JSON or whatever is the API that they're using, they have like a naming and other kind of stuff that will like impact when we are creating the tokens. And today we do have this variables that I showed you guys that will help a lot, especially when we are putting like, oh, color. This is like like blue, light blue. So we have like the word color and then slash, I don't know, light blue and the brand that you are working with. I don't know, light blue, Prime Video. So this is like a primary kind of color. We can use that, but at the same time, we need to copy that and do a documentation for that. My dream is that Figma do this or has a plugin or something that do this automatically, and I don't need to write it down that because it takes a lot of time for me to do that, and it's really, really boring because this actually it's like a developer kind of work, but at the same time it's something that designers needs to be aware of because it is a nomenclature, it is a naming, and it is something that we're going to use also inside the Figma and inside the components and everything. So it's something that I really want in the future, that they do this by themselves. And obviously having the artificial intelligence, like, a framework or something that they just, I can just put there like, oh, this is the design system that I want to do for this specific kind of client, for this specific kind of product. Please do the basic. For example, doing like the foundations and building the atoms of the components, such as like, I don't know, like icons, buttons, this kind of stuff. So I really do hope, but I think maybe it's further than this one from the token. But yeah, basically is that I'm looking for a lot of stuff because now that artificial intelligence is more accessible, I think we have some great new features ahead.
Yeah, this idea of the AI is really cool. I haven't thought about it. It saves a lot of time. Yeah, definitely. Now I'm hyped for it too. Hope it comes in the near future.
Yeah,
Thank you.
no worries. I don't know if there is anybody else, but Lucas wanted to talk a little bit about. So I don't know if anybody else. Okay, I think it's with you, Lucas.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Ariel. Congrats for the presentation. Really cool. Understand a little bit more about Figma. And yeah, it was so nice to hear from you all these ideas and looking forward to understand a little bit more. So yeah, guys, I'd like just to say a few words. I'd like to say thank you so much for your time here in our design week. I'd like to say thank you for everyone for participating. We had a rich agenda with great content. We have this event every year focusing on sharing knowledge, experience, and our biggest strength is support and empathy here. And for me, it's so wonderful to see this every day, and especially this week, with a lot of designers, a lot of people from Ebony Code and other areas interested in learn a little bit more about our work. So this week is a way to celebrate the team and put them in the place as a protagonist. So personally, I'm so happy to see um, everyone availability and dedication of this. Yeah, every year we try to refine this event and we start talking about future. But this week we saw there is a lot of challenges happening right now in the present. So I think we have so much to understand in the business and the product and technology today. Before we start to discuss so much about the future, right? We need to understand the present. So we have a really good agenda. And yeah, and just a reminder, this week was so special to understand when people feel at different levels because people are different. And sometimes it's obvious, but we need to remind ourselves about this. And it was so nice to see uh, everyone supporting each other. So I'd like to say thank you for the AC communication team for the support. Of course, I'd like to say thank you. I don't know if she's here, but Mari Ortega, Luciana, and Leila for supporting us in the organization and the previous training of the team. To Luciano, who brought this presentation and visual identity for this year. Our hosts, of course, the amazing support. Some of them is not even presenting something, but they are interested to support the team and support each other. And of course, to our speakers for preparing this content and being able to share their knowledge and experience and put them in this highlight place. For all of you who participating and support our team and has been so nice. I like to say astronauts, when they are in the space, they use stars to navigate. And we as designers, we listen to people to navigate between our technology and our product. And yeah, and because of that, don't forget to share your feedback in your form and see you in our next Design Week 24. Thank you, team.